Seniors, 5 popular supplements that are poisoning your heart. One of the supplements sitting in your medicine cabinet right now could actually be damaging your heart. And I'm not talking about some sketchy product from a gas station. I'm talking about supplements your doctor might have recommended. Look, if you're over 60, you've probably got a whole collection of bottles lined up on your counter. Bone strength, energy boosters, heart health, weight loss. We've all been there. You watch the videos, you read the articles, you buy 10 different supplements because you want to do everything right. But here's what nobody's telling you. Some of the most popular supplements marketed to seniors are not just useless, they're dangerous. And the older you get, the more dangerous they become. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 5 supplements that millions of seniors take every day, thinking they're being healthy, when they're actually putting themselves at risk. But here's the thing, I'm not just going to tell you what to avoid, I'm going to give you better, safer alternatives that actually work. And stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal the number one mistake almost every senior makes with supplements. And fixing this one thing can change everything about how you feel. But first, let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 72 years old, a retired accountant from Ohio. Sharp as a tack, always been careful about his health. When his doctor looked at his cholesterol numbers and saw that his HDL, the good cholesterol, was a little low, she suggested something that seemed perfectly safe. 500 milligrams of niacin daily. It's just vitamin B3, she said. It'll boost your good cholesterol naturally. 6 months later, Robert was in the emergency room with chest palpitations, and what doctors would later discover was significant vascular inflammation throughout his body. Now, before you think this is some rare reaction, let me show you what the science is telling us about high-dose niacin. The study, published in Nature Medicine in 2024, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, found something shocking. When you take high doses of niacin, your body breaks it down into a compound called 4-PY. And this compound doesn't just fail to help your heart, it actively damages your blood vessels. Here's what happens. That 4-PY metabolite triggers inflammatory cascades in your arteries. It's like setting off tiny fires throughout your cardiovascular system. The very supplement you're taking to protect your heart is actually inflaming it, but that's not even the worst part. You know that niacin flush, that burning, tingling sensation people get? That's not a good sign. That's your blood vessels dilating so rapidly that it's actually stressing your entire cardiovascular system. And if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, which affects over 50% of people over 65, high-dose niacin can actually worsen your insulin resistance. So what should you do instead? First, get your niacin the way nature intended, from lean meats, fish, mushrooms, and peanuts. You'll get enough B3 without the dangerous metabolites. For your HDL, focus on what actually works. Regular aerobic exercise, even just 30 minutes of walking, and extra virgin olive oil in your diet. And if you need extra support, consider berberine, 500 milligrams twice daily. Studies show it improves your entire lipid profile without the cardiovascular risks. But niacin isn't the only healthy supplement that can backfire. The next one almost put a 68-year-old librarian in the hospital with liver failure. Helen loved her morning routine. At 68, this retired librarian from Oregon had always been health conscious. When she read about green tea extract being packed with antioxidants and helping with weight management, it seemed like a no-brainer. She started taking concentrated green tea extract capsules, 400 milligrams daily. All natural, the label said, equivalent to 10 cups of green tea. 6 weeks later, Helen could barely get out of bed. Extreme fatigue, abdominal pain, and her urine had turned dark amber. Her daughter rushed her to the emergency room. Her liver enzymes, ALT and AST, were over 500. Normal is under 40. Helen was in acute liver failure. Now you might be thinking, but green tea is healthy. And you're right, green tea is healthy. But here's what the supplement companies don't want you to know. Concentrated green tea extract contains something called EGCG, up to 50 times more concentrated than what you'd get from actual tea. And your liver wasn't designed to handle these massive doses. The European Union actually restricted the amount of EGCG allowed in food products in 2022 specifically because of liver damage reports. The Liver Tox database, that's the official FDA database of drug-induced liver injuries, has documented multiple cases of people needing emergency liver transplants from green tea extract. And here's the really scary part. Researchers at Rutgers University found that whether you'll have liver damage from green tea extract depends partly on your genetics. You could be taking what seems like a safe dose, but if you have certain genetic variations, you're playing Russian roulette with your liver. Helen recovered, thankfully. But it took 6 months, and she'll need liver function monitoring for the rest of her life. Here's what you should do instead. Drink actual green tea. 2 to 3 cups a day gives you all the antioxidant benefits with natural compounds that your body can handle. If you want something more concentrated, try high-quality matcha, 1 teaspoon daily in a smoothie. And for antioxidants, focus on vitamin C from citrus fruits, vitamin E from nuts and seeds, and selenium from Brazil nuts. Your liver will thank you, but we're not done yet. The third supplement on this list is one that millions of seniors take for heart health, and it's actually increasing their risk of stroke. Anthony is 75, a retired Air Force colonel from Texas. This man ran 5 miles every morning until he was 70. When his cardiologist saw his triglyceride levels creeping up, he recommended what seemed like the gold standard, 4 grams of fish oil daily. It's like eating fish every day, the doctor explained. Great for your heart. 8 months later, Anthony started having dizzy spells. Then came the heart palpitations, irregular, frightening episodes that left him breathless. A cardiac monitor revealed he'd developed atrial fibrillation. The very supplement he was taking to protect his heart was causing dangerous heart rhythm problems. Now, I know what you're thinking. But fish oil is supposed to be good for you. And in the right amounts, it can be. But here's what's happening with these high-dose fish oil supplements. A massive study published in the British Medical Journal in 2024 followed over 400,000 people for more than a decade. What they found was shocking. People taking high-dose fish oil supplements had a significantly higher risk of both stroke and atrial fibrillation. Here's why. Fish oil is a natural blood thinner. At moderate doses, that can be beneficial. But at high doses, anything over 3 grams daily, it can make your blood too thin, increasing bleeding risk and disrupting your heart's electrical system. The VITAL study, published in 2022, found that fish oil supplements increased atrial fibrillation risk by 26%. And a Cochrane meta-analysis, that's the gold standard of medical reviews, confirmed that doses over 3 grams daily are associated with significantly higher arrhythmic risk. Anthony had to stop the fish oil completely and go on blood thinners to manage his new atrial fibrillation. His triglycerides? They came down just fine with dietary changes. Here's the smarter approach. Eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week. Wild salmon, sardines, mackerel. If you do supplement, keep it to 1 to 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, and always take it with meals for better absorption. And here's a key point. If you're on any blood-thinning medications, you need to talk to your doctor before taking any amount of fish oil. But the next supplement might be the most dangerous of all, and it's hiding in something that 70% of seniors take every single day. Carol taught piano for 40 years. At 69, she's still giving lessons from her home in Michigan. 3 years ago, she started taking a senior multivitamin because she figured, I'm getting older, I need more nutrients, right? But over those 3 years, something strange started happening. Joint pain that wouldn't go away. Fatigue that seemed to get worse, not better. Irritability that her family started to notice. Maybe it's just age, she thought. Finally, her doctor ran comprehensive blood work. Carol's ferritin level, that's stored iron, was 280. Normal for a woman her age is under 150. Her transferrin saturation was 45%. It should be under 30%. She had systemic inflammation throughout her body. The cause? 3 years of unnecessary iron accumulating in her tissues, causing oxidative damage throughout her body. Here's what most people don't understand about iron and aging. After menopause, women don't lose iron through menstruation anymore. And as we age, our bodies actually become more efficient at absorbing iron from supplements. The Framingham Heart Study, published in 2023, followed people for 20 years and found that elevated ferritin levels were associated with 40% more coronary artery plaque. Iron, when you don't need it, becomes a pro-oxidant. It literally rusts your arteries from the inside. But iron isn't the only problem with senior multivitamins. A Johns Hopkins study, published in 2024, found that excess calcium and vitamin D, common in these formulations, was associated with increased cardiovascular risk in people over 65. The problem is that synthetic vitamins in isolation behave very differently than nutrients from food. Plus, many minerals compete for absorption, so taking them all together can actually create deficiencies. Carol stopped the multivitamin and worked with a functional medicine doctor to address her iron overload. 6 months later, her energy returned, her joint pain improved, and her inflammatory markers normalized. Here's the smart approach. Test first, supplement second. Get comprehensive blood work to identify real deficiencies, then target those specific nutrients. Vitamin D3, 2000 to 4000 IU based on your blood levels. B12, if you're vegan or have stomach issues. Chelated magnesium, 200-400 milligrams for blood pressure and muscle function. But only what you actually need, based on testing. Now, the final supplement on this list is being aggressively marketed to senior men, and it's actually increasing heart attack risk. Edward spent 35 years as a civil engineer. At 71, he's still sharp, still active, but he'd been reading about circulation boosters and nitric oxide support. The ads promised better energy, better performance, better everything. L-arginine seemed like the answer. 3 grams daily of this natural amino acid that improves blood flow. 4 months later, Edward's blood pressure was all over the map, spiking and dropping unpredictably. He started having heart palpitations at night. Then came the chest tightness during his morning walks. His cardiologist's reaction was immediate. Stop the L-arginine now. Here's what Edward didn't know. L-arginine forces your blood vessels to dilate by boosting nitric oxide production. That sounds good in theory, but if you have any underlying vascular disease, and most people over 65 do, this forced dilation can actually be dangerous. Harvard Medical School specifically identifies L-arginine as a supplement that may harm heart health in older adults. And a JAMA study from 2006, that's the Journal of the American Medical Association, found that L-arginine actually increased mortality in heart attack survivors. Here's why. As we age, our arteries become stiffer and may have areas of plaque buildup. When you force these compromised vessels to dilate rapidly, you can create unstable blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, and in worse cases, even rupture vulnerable plaques. Plus, L-arginine competes with lysine, another amino acid that's crucial for immune function. High-dose L-arginine can actually suppress your immune system when you need it most. Want better circulation naturally? Focus on nitrate-rich foods like beets, spinach, and arugula. Try 8 ounces of fresh beet juice before exercise for natural, gentle vasodilation. But the best stimulus for healthy nitric oxide production? Regular exercise. Your body knows how to improve circulation. You just need to give it the right signals. And for endothelial support, vitamin C from whole foods works better than any supplement. Now those are the 5 dangerous supplements. But before we wrap up, I need to tell you about the number one mistake I see seniors make with supplements. And this one mistake can undermine everything else you're doing for your health. Mario was a financial consultant for 30 years. He understood numbers, he understood research, he was methodical about everything. So when he retired at 68, he approached his health the same way, systematically. He watched YouTube videos about heart health, started taking CoQ10, read an article about brain health, added fish oil. His doctor mentioned bone density. Calcium and vitamin D went into the routine. A friend recommended probiotics. His wife suggested turmeric. Before long, Mario was taking 15 different supplements. His morning routine took 20 minutes. He was spending over $200 a month. His kitchen counter looked like a pharmacy. But his energy levels? Lower than ever. His labs? Getting worse, not better. His liver enzymes were elevated. He was having digestive issues. And some of his supplements were actually interfering with his blood pressure medication. This is the number one mistake, the more is better mentality. Thinking that if one supplement is good, 10 must be better. Taking advice from multiple sources without considering how everything works together. Here's what Mario learned, and what every senior needs to understand. Your body is not a machine where you can just add more parts. It's a complex system where everything interacts with everything else. The smart approach is personalized supplementation based on your actual needs, your lab work, your genetics, your medications, your health conditions. Not what worked for your neighbor, not what you saw in a video, but what your body specifically needs. Mario worked with a healthcare provider who understood functional medicine. They cut his supplement list down to 4 targeted nutrients based on his actual deficiencies. His energy improved, his labs normalized, and he saved $150 a month. Look, I know this information might be overwhelming. Maybe you're looking at your supplement cabinet right now wondering what's safe and what isn't. If you want help creating a personalized supplement strategy based on your specific needs, one that's safe, effective, and won't work against your other medications, I put together a resource that walks you through exactly how to do this. Check the first comment below this video for details on how to get access to this personalized supplementation guide. And next week, I'm going to show you how to build a supplement routine that actually works, including the 3 supplements that most seniors should consider and the simple tests that can guide your decisions. But first, let me know in the comments. Were you taking any of these 5 supplements? And which one surprised you the most? Remember, the goal isn't to avoid all supplements, it's to be smart about them. Your health is too important to leave to guesswork. I'll see you next week, and remember, age is just a number, but wisdom is ageless.